Just 2 weeks to go in the regular season of the ACC, and we get to a critical single-game matchup in this regular season with Clemson visiting Miami. Welcome to ACC College Hoops with Jason Capel-Wester. I'm great to have you with us for our coverage. We get the treat today to see two of the more dynamic wing players in the ACC. Jerron Blossomgame, an all-ACC pick a year ago, had another fine campaign.
One of the most versatile players in all of college basketball. Can score inside, can stretch you from well beyond the three-point line. And what I love about him, he's an excellent defender, plays both sides of the basketball. A mismatch in the ability to attack off the bounce, score over smaller defenders, can get in transition. And there he is, a guy that plays both sides of the ball. And you get the rock to him inside, he can punish you. So athletic, able to finish through contact.
We'll see how Miami elects to handle him. The Canes counter with Davon Reed, who's on a tear, Jason.
Well, a sharpshooter supreme. Davon Reed has made 15 of his last 29 three-point shots his last 4 contests. And he's a marksman. He's a guy you must locate, run him off that three-point line, make him put it on the floor. But he's the leader of this Hurricane ball club. Shows the ability to attack off the bounce. A versatile and confident player for this Miami Hurricanes team that's trying to defend their home court.
Well, it's a big ball game for both schools, not just in the ACC slate, but potential postseason destinations as well. Canes and Tigers coming up from South Florida right after you see this.
ACC College Basketball is sponsored by Planet Fitness and Nissan.
And we welcome you back to the Watsco Center here in Coral Gables on the campus of Miami. We get ready for the Canes and the Tigers, and a quick check of our lineups here, Jason. No change for Clemson. This is one they've gone with about the last 8 games, featuring Elijah Thomas at the post. Sidney Jete will come off the bench, as will Marquise Reed. And then here from Miami, this is a lineup they went with on Wednesday night in the win over Georgia Tech, in part because of the suspension of Jaquan Newton for 3 games, but also the kind of inexactness of DeJuan Hewell's ankle injury. And here's our 4 keys to the game as well.
When you think of Clemson, contain, dribble, drive, you must keep the ball in front of you so you're not in rotation, closing out to those shooters and run the shooters off the line. Miami, value the basketball, all hands on deck. The second game without point guard Jaquan Newton. They have a shorter bench. They need everyone involved, active, and communicating on both sides.
Bill Covington Jr. with Jeff Clark and Tony Chiazza, the officials here today.
Clemson starts out in a solid man-to-man.
That ball got thrown away, trying to go to Davon Reed.
You must take care of the basketball. Bruce Brown is acting as the primary ball handler for this ball club now. You can't have unforced turnovers. And Miami starts out in the 2-3 zone defensively.
Clemson hit 10 threes Tuesday night in the win over Wake Forest. And Holmes, a deep one to start today.
When you talk about making three-point shots for this Clemson ball club, it's number 12 in orange. Avery Holmes, he made 3 of those shots from distance the last time out. You're going to play that zone. You must be aware of where he is and run him off the line.
Best three-point shooter in the ACC in league play at 53%. That one might have been closer to 4 points than 3. Inside Murphy and 1, and a foul on Grantham.
Love the patience and poise inside by Azundu. Recognizes the double team. You move without the basketball. Kamari Murphy dives to the front of the rim. Big to big, and Murphy steps to the line for a possible 3-point play.
Foul is on Shelton Mitchell and not Dante Grantham. And Kamari Murphy, a 59% free throw shooter, has tied this game. So Shelton Mitchell's first. First on the Tigers, and Miami back to the zone despite the Holmes 3 to start. What are they trying to neutralize here, Jason, with this zone? Clemson's not a great three-point shooting team. They've got shooters, though.
Well, they're trying to keep the ball out of the paint. But against the zone, you must rotate and have your man in front of the basketball. There's Shelton Mitchell, a bigger guard, able to see over. Miami has to do a better job having ball pressure. Nice speed, and Thomas with the easy jam.
Tigers back in front. Azundu. Working on Elijah Thomas. A high arcing running jump hook by Abuka Asundu.
Well, I think he's too young to have seen Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Lou Alcindor, but he's channeling it, that running sky hook.
Blossom Game gets the roll. Teron Blossom Game, 51% shooter from the floor, averaging 17 points against the league. Coming off a double-double, his third of the year against Wake Forest on Tuesday night.
And you ask, what is the zone trying to take away? Exactly what Clemson has exploited the last two possessions. Keeping the ball out of the paint, forcing outside shots. Hurricanes must do a better job.
Reed. 5 to shoot for the Canes. Feeds Murphy. 5 from Murphy. All 5 of Miami's 7 belong to the senior from Brooklyn.
As Coach Jim Larinaga has seen enough, he comes out of that zone. Solid man-to-man. And again, now you must contain dribble penetration.
Here's Blossom Game. Lost it on the drive, recovered Azundu, ahead for Brown. 3-on-1, he will feed Reed.
Live ball turnovers lead to easy transition opportunities, and the Hurricanes a 3-on-1 break. Unselfish play and a nice jam for Davon Reed.
4-0 run gives Miami the lead. Mitchell trying to find an alley, scores with a left hand. Pretty move by Shelton Mitchell.
And that's what Clemson can do to you. So many different guys. This is a different Clemson team. More offensive-minded, different players can attack you and put the ball in the hoop.
Reed slices back underneath. Thomas quickly, here's Mitchell. And he'll hold it for Elijah Thomas. Working downstairs, scores and draws the foul. Thomas's offensive game has kind of been on the move here, Jason, the last couple of weeks.
Elijah Thomas is the most skilled big player on this Tigers ball club. How many guys that size can catch it from the trail position, give you 2 moves off the bounce, a spin, go through the contact, and kiss it off the glass? What Sidi Jade brings to this team as far as physicality, rebounding the basketball, when Thomas is in the game, he gives you that low post score inside.
Elijah Thomas has got 5. Foul was on Azundu. So both Azundu and Mitchell with markers for their clubs here early. Fast-moving first 4 minutes here in Coral Gables today. DJ Vasiljevic is coming to the ball game for the Canes wearing number 4. He is a 3-point shooter. That's chapter, verse, and book on him. There's DeJuan Huell, who's also on the floor for the first time. Reed a 3, and it's good. Davon Reed's got 5. He's the 5th best 3-point shooter in the ACC at 42%. In fact, better than half of all his shot attempts are 3s.
When your name has shooter beside it on the scouting report, you have to take that shot fake. But Davon Reed, show and go, knocks down a timely 3.
Blossom Game squeezes around Murphy, and there's what you were talking about, Cape, at the top of the broadcast.
He can punish you in so many different ways. He's a mismatch nightmare. He can attack you off the bounce, but he's physical enough and athletic enough that when he gets it inside, he can put up big points in the paint as well.
Almost 5 minutes gone first half. Back and forth they go. Clemson by a basket.
What a pass!
Oh, Lawrence to Huell.
Well, a lot of sauce on that one there. Lawrence. I referenced Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I guess I got to go with Magic Johnson as well. A little showtime here in Coral Gables.
Too strong for Blossom Game. Tied at 14. Reed guiding Miami up the floor. And here is Huell. Big freshman at 20 years of age, now on the block. And Grantham the rebound. Mitchell. For Thomas. Works in on Huell, the contact in the basket, and Elijah Thomas has got 7 here early now for the Tigers.
He does a great job initiating the contact, but protecting that basketball, puts his shoulders square into your chest, and extends the ball where only he can lay it off the glass.
Reed wants some help here, gets it from a Huell screen. Lawrence a catch and shoot three. 27th three of the year for the sophomore. Miami back in front.
And you can see who the leader of this team is. Every good thing that happens has Davon Reed's fingerprints all over it. The tack off the bounce and a nice find in the corner.
Holmes foul line jumper. And the rebound pulled away. Here's Vasiljevic. Deep from the right. And the rebound for Thomas. Almost 7 minutes in. This thing is fast.
Up and down.
A lot faster than most noon starts.
Absolutely.
Blossom game. Out of a double team and turned over. It'll stay with Clemson. And we will get a break. But not before Anthony Lawrence serves one up to DeJuan Newell. Well, in a great year of rookies in the ACC, Jason, our hardy star to watch, this 6'5" freshman from Boston, is another one in Bruce Brown.
Well, how many freshmen can say they dropped 30 points against a team like North Carolina and also a triple-double in the same year? Such a strong, mature player has a bright future here in Coral Gables.
What do you like most about a guy? And Jim Larinaga, I thought, was very candid with us today. I said, as he kind of met your expectations, he said, and then some.
Well, you look at him now. You talk about his versatility. He's playing point guard for this team. He's physically able to step in and compete at the college level right away. So strong, so experienced. And that's the way it's been throughout the ACC this year, partner.
This is a pretty good list right here now. I mean, some known factors coming in, some unknowns, maybe like Okogie of Georgia Tech.
Well, you look at this list here, and so many great young players. And two guys on it, Kai Bowman, he's had 3 30-point games for Boston College.
Yep.
Kyle Guy, another guy that has a bright future for Virginia. The ACC is in good hands moving forward.
Clemson turns it over. And here is Brown. Plays with Reed, Lawrence, Vasiljevic, and DeJuan Newell. Backdoor lob broken up. Jete, who's on the floor with DeVoe for the first time out of the break. And Mitchell, who had 15 in the win against Wake Forest. And here is Marquise Reed, who had 21 against the Deacons. Here's Blossom game. In traffic against the double team. Draws the foul. He'll get a couple shots here. And the whistle will be on Brown. His first, number 2 on Miami.
If you're going to double Jerron Blossom game, you have to come quick and on the catch. When he's able to crab dribble getting closer to the rim, he's too athletic. He's going to make you foul him, or he's going to put points on the board.
Why is it not fair to look at the stats? Okay, his stats this year aren't as good as last year, but he's a better player.
He's a much better all-around player, and that's why he came back to school. Went into the NBA draft, got the feedback, came back to work on his game. He has more offensive weapons on this team, so obviously his numbers are going to take a dip. But you look at his efficiency, scoring the basketball, a guy that plays both sides, and just a world-class athlete, an excellent player who has a bright future at the next level.
Grantham comes back into the ball game. Blossom game will get a break here. And Brad Brownell does an excellent job of resting his redshirt senior from Alpharetta, Georgia, who had taken a shot across the bridge of the nose. Got knocked around a little bit maybe on that shot before he went to the free throw line. Kind of collecting his wits as Miami controls. Tied at 17, Vasiljevic picks up where he left off on Wednesday night, Jason.
And Brad Brownell just falls back in his chair, throws his hands up, and shakes his head at Marquise Reed. When you're guarding Vasiljevic, you have one responsibility, Wes. You can't allow him to catch and shoot three-pointers.
3-point lead for Miami. Mitchell, little crossover and pull up. Lawrence brings it front court. Another one from deep. Have my partner leaning back in his chair. Vasiljevic, who had only had one other double-figure game against the ACC, gets started early here against Miami and Clemson today.
ACC College Basketball is sponsored by the official corporate champions of the ACC, Geico, New York Life, Food Lion, Toyota, and Bojangles.
Back in Coral Gables, 3-point lead for Miami. Time for this week's Toyota Tweet of the Week. And with the tournament going to Brooklyn, why not a guy born in Brooklyn, raised in Wilmington, who celebrated a birthday yesterday?
The GOAT, the greatest of all time. MJ, Black Cat, 2-3, all the above.
Yep.
Happy birthday to him.
Marquise Reed's got a pair of the Jumpman shoes on today as he brings it front court for Clemson. Here's Mitchell squeezing it off through traffic and scores.
A tough closeout there from Azundu. Allows Shelton Mitchell, a guy that doesn't want to take that three-point shot, that avenue to attack the paint, and a tough two inside.
1-point lead for Miami. Lawrence dials Azundu. Nice move with the left hand. Second field goal for Abuka.
Even better catch for a young player to make a grab like that in traffic and still have his wits to spin and finish it. Excellent play.
DeVoe. Now Reed up front. Miami started in the zone, failed after 2 or 3 possessions, and been man ever since. 5 to shoot. Mitchell works. Wow. Spinning through, puts it up. Didn't get the bounce. Pretty good move, though.
Nice move, but very solid defense. Miami, after giving up easy baskets in that zone, their defense has been stout here the last few minutes.
Brown. Azundu. Missed the open jumper. Here's DeVoe. Well, Grantham's really fought it offensively here the last few weeks and misses there. Dante Grantham averaging just better than 4 points in his last 4 games. He was 1 of 10 from the floor in his last 2 coming in. Azundu got bumped. Didn't get a whistle. Clemson down 3 on the run again. Reed. Step back. Knocks it down. First bucket for Marquise Reed.
Well, he's a guy that's just wired to score. When Foreign Orange checks in the game, you better tighten your shoes because he's going to play in attack mode each time the ball touches his hands.
Vasiljevic. Catch and shoot. And knocked away. Jute able to keep it alive. Reed a 3. 5 in a row. Marquise Reed's 26th 3 of the year. Score, not a shooter.
Score. He's a guy that can get it going, and he's not afraid. You need guys at any gym they step in, they truly believe they're the best player. I think Marquise Reed has a bit of that, but for the Hurricanes, the sophomore, Azundu, he has a lot of that here this afternoon. Great ball movement. Sidi Chute has to help up, and the high-low pass. And Azundu goes up high, takes the slight contact from Shelton Mitchell, able to finish with authority.
That's 2 fouls now. Mitchell with 8:36 to go. So Brad Brownell will take out the transfer Mitchell from Vanderbilt. And Avery Holmes reports back for the Tigers. And Azundu now has 7 in this first half. This is his 6th year of basketball, Abuka Azundu, originally from Nigeria, went to school in the Charlotte area before coming to Miami. It's a pretty high ceiling this young man's got. He's getting better every day, it seems like.
He's a hard worker, puts in the time. Dave DeVoe unable to knock down that 3-point shot for the Tigers.
Reed. We approach 8 minutes to play. 1-point ball game. And fun to watch here. High tempo contest. Brown a crossover and score. Beautiful move by Bruce Brown.
Really like this kid. We talked about his experience, and saying that for a young player seems like an oxymoron, but he's a guy that has the experience because the physical nature of his game and mentally well beyond his years.
DeVoe runs it through the baseline. Holmes a three. Avery Holmes, 2 field goals are from the deepest parts of the court.
You must contain dribble penetration against this Clemson Tigers team. We talk about they're not a stout three-point shooting team, but when they put you in rotation, excellent at sharing the basketball, and they have a few guys that with time and space that can make you pay for three.
Azundu goes to work again inside. He's got 9 now. And the Miami lead back to 2. Reed, who hit 5 quickly, now Blossom Games return. Duran a catch and shoot 3. Front rim miss and has ground the long rebound. Brown inside, Azundu the catch, scoring foul. Jete the foul. Azundu has 11 to lead everybody in this first half. Good delivery from Brown. Miami's built a 4-point lead with a free throw when we come back. Miami a 4-point lead built in part because of 11 first-half points for Abuka Azundu, Jason.
And he's been the recipient of unselfish play, starting off the game with that little run and hook. But ball screen defense has really been a struggle for the Clemson Tigers. And Azundu setting solid screens, rolling hard to the basket, able to catch in traffic and finish tough twos inside. The sophomore from Charlotte is playing with confidence in this game, and the Clemson Tigers have to be connected in these ball screens. They have to have 5 guys talking, communicating, ready to rotate when a big rolls to the hoop and a guard replaces to the top of the key.
Free throw no good. Azundu's career high is 16. Earlier this year at NC State, and he's got 11. Backdoor cut, Reed to catch and score. Nice pass by Elijah Thomas. 7 for Reed. He and Thomas have 7 of the Tigers, 14 of the Tigers' 29.
Marquise Reed has played under 7 minutes and already has 7 points.
And Reed and Davon Reed and Marquise Reed. Battle for the loose change here. Miami retains possession, and Azundu back to work. Two-point lead for the Hurricanes. DeVoe tried to lob it to Thomas. Reed's pass got knocked right back to him. Holmes with 9 to shoot. Fall away 2. Hadn't missed yet, has he?
Well, that's good defense. You run him off that 3-point line if you're Anthony Lawrence, but you have to be able to defend that second move. Holmes slammed on brakes, got the separation. Tough shot there.
Boy, good ball game, Jason. 31 all. Approaching 5 to go. Brown on a hard take. Tap follow, no good. Skip out. Lawrence a 3. And Huell gives Miami a 3rd chance now.
Well, how about the toughness of Bruce Brown? The only white jersey inside, but somehow he comes away with that ball.
DeVoe going to be called for the contact on Huell off the lob from Reed. And Gabe DeVoe is tagged with his first. Number 4 on Clemson. Brad Brownell's team will send Miami to the line here, as Jim Larinaga brings Kamari Murphy back onto the floor to replace Abuka Azundu. And Vasiljevic as well returns from Miami. Pretty good first half for Azundu. 11 points and a rebound in 10 minutes.
Both clubs very efficient offensively, shooting over 60% on both sides. We'll love to see the defense step up and get some stops.
Yep. Lawrence. They're 31 all game here. 8 to shoot. Reed, a deep three from in front of the Tiger bench. And Blossomgame kept it alive and controls it. Holmes' pass got knocked away by Reed. Jason, Clemson has struggled defensively. Brad Brownell will tell you, there are times where they show life, but consistency on defense has probably been the bigger question for Clemson. Miami's a little more balanced on both sides of the floor, but they've also been subjected to some tough nights at that end, too.
Well, they have. Miami is dealing with a short bench right now. You've seen more zone than we're typically used to seeing from the Hurricanes. But you must step up. Defense is about want to.
Buell tried to throw it down and rattled out. Now Clemson trying to work for an advantage on the other end. 4 minutes to play. Reed, jump stop, through traffic, got it up in the air, and found it away. Unbelievable.
He's going to get a shot up. You can guarantee that through traffic or not, but give Miami credit. When it looked like the Tigers had numbers, the Hurricanes sprinted back, kept that ball into the paint. Nice rotation to force a tough shot.
Reed's runner. And knocked out of bounds by Huell. That'll get us to a timeout. 3:36 to play. First half. Here's where Gables stayed last night, right over there by the boat. Back after this.
ACC College Basketball is sponsored by The Works Pegasus, your workspace. Any place, find it at your local Lowe's.
Back here in Coral Gables, Miami and Clemson locked up at 31. Stay tuned. Coming up at the break, Hardy's halftime report. We'll look at the ACC standings and the one other ball game underway at this hour, Notre Dame and NC State and Raleigh, plus a check of the stats and analysis of this first 20 minutes of play. We started this Saturday in the ACC, Jason, with 10 teams within 4 games. Unbelievable. Been one of the most competitive, certainly one of the more deeper years of the ACC. Clearly the deepest year since the membership grew to 15 4 seasons ago. Tigers the ball, Holmes. And now Jete off the baseline.
Pretty certain out of that timeout, Brad Brownell did not draw up a play for City Jete to step out and shoot a 15-foot jump shot on the baseline.
Huell tried to slip the screen. Lawrence on the drive. And Blossomgame had the rebound. Huell will be called for over the back. His first 3 now on Miami.
That was a better job in the ball screen. City Jete stayed with the ball handler and forced him to take a tough shot. If your teammate hasn't gotten his body back in front of the ball handler, you can't leave. You must stay at home. Force him to make a tough play.
Why don't more teams play over screens? Like, you know, we saw, 5 years ago, everybody virtually played over the top of every screen, didn't they?
With the rules now, the freedom of movement, it's so tough to fight over those ball screens. And it's so tough for a big guy to jump out and hedge it.
Yeah.
You either have to switch it or you must rely on your help to come from strong side, and then the weak side has to rotate to pick up the slack of the guy rolling to the hoop.
And teams got to be able to talk, too.
Got to be able to communicate. You must be connected defensively in all facets of the game. 5 guys have to be moving as one.
Grantham. Here's Holmes. Good half for Avery Holmes. He's 3 for 4 and 2 of 2 from distance. Reed. Now, Marquise Reed, a spot up. And finally pulled away by Brown. Game's kind of slowed a little bit as we wind down the final 2 minutes here, Jason.
I think the coaches have made adjustments defensively.
Here's Bruce Brown sneaking down the lane. Second field goal for the freshman.
And without starting point guard, the Miami Hurricanes doing a nice job taking care of the basketball. Only 2 turnovers here in this first half. A nice find and finish there.
Grantham missing on the 3. Reed. And now Miami wants to wait here and see if they can get something. Bruce Brown will bring it back out near the timeline. Now 10 to shoot for the Canes. High screen from Azundu. Murphy on the pass and blocked out of bounds by Grantham. 4 to shoot for Miami. 1:24 to go first half.
Well, a great in-and-out dribble by Bruce Brown allowed that drive to the hoop. But Dante Grantham, he struggled scoring the basketball, but he's remained engaged. Nice rotation there, denying what could have been an easy 2 inside.
Well, Canes by 2 as they huddle around Jim Larinaga now in season number 6 here in Coral Gables. And the 6th season in Raleigh will be the last season for Mark Godfrey. It was announced on Thursday he will not return as the head coach of the Wolfpack. Will finish out the schedule. Athletic Director Debbie Yao announced that the search for a replacement will be underway. She will form a committee, and they will begin assessing the scenarios in Raleigh for the next basketball coach of the Wolfpack. And Godfrey had 4 really good years, Jason, but the 2 years here since have been a tough one for the Wolfpack.
Well, this profession, you understand, is what have you done for me lately? But I dislike firing a coach at the college level during the season. Let him finish the year. These kids have worked hard. The win-loss column may not show it, but this isn't professional sports. You allow them to finish the year and go out the right way. It's going to be tough, in my opinion, to coach this team the rest of the year, knowing that that coach for the remaining players will not be back next season.
Brown's 3 with the shot clock going off. And now here's Blossom game with Clemson down 2. And about 70 seconds to go in this first half. Reed had moments here in this first half for the Tigers. Holmes has been steady throughout. Fall away 2 to tie is short. And the rebound from Murphy, and we go under a minute to play.
That's a bad shot. If you're Avery Holmes, you have a big on you. You must attack. You cannot settle for a jump shot over the outstretched arms of Kamari Murphy.
Lawrence. Off the Murphy screen. And Kamari, the beneficiary of the screen game. He's got 7 in the first half.
If you're Clemson, that's a shot you're going to settle for. City Jate, nice rotation, but you don't expect Kamari Murphy to catch it on the move and raise up and knock down that jump shot. Hurricanes by 4.
And we get a timeout with 26.5 left, and time for today's Toyota trivia question. Who's the only person to coach both Clemson and Miami? And in fact, sidebar to it, also coached another school that's ultimately in the ACC as well. We'll pass along the answer. Hey, Clemson knows. And they could find out.
Hey, modern technology. Kids and their phones, they can find out anything with just a flick of their thumbs.
Miami's got the game's largest lead, 4. This is the second time they've led by 4. We have had 10 ties and 5 lead changes in this first half. And the game probably played a little faster than you and I thought, right?
Absolutely. But again, Miami, you understand they're a team that wants to get up and down. Would they change that style with Jaquan Newton sitting on the sidelines? We found our answer. And Brian Barnell teams are accustomed to being stout defensively. There's a change this year. They love to play offense. They can put points on the board.
Shelton Mitchell with 2 fouls on the floor here for the final sequence. Clemson run a stack set here. And the shot clock at 6. Blossom game with 5. Works down in traffic, fall away on Murphy, got it. Jerron Blossom game was 7 on a self-made shot. That won't count even if it goes, and it hit the rim for good looks. But Miami's going to take a 2-point lead to the locker room. Very entertaining first 20 minutes.
Well, that last possession, sometimes you got to let a pro be a pro. And that's an ISO set, go get me a bucket. Jerron Blossom game, big-time finish to pull the Tigers within 2.
2-point lead for host Miami after 20 minutes of play here in Coral Gables. Canes have won 3 of their last 4. They're 5-2 at home. Party's halftime report coming up next. 2-point lead for Miami. We go to the second half of play here at the Watsco Center in Coral Gables. And Avery Holmes is 8, leads Clemson, and Abuka Zundu's 11, leads Miami. Jason, what do you want here in the first couple minutes if you're Brad Brownell or Jim Larinaga?
Well, Clemson's doing a nice job scoring the basketball, getting the ball inside. They started the game getting it inside to Thomas. He taps it out. That's what you don't want. And once again, Brad Brownell falls back in that chair. You know they spoke about dribble penetration, getting the ball inside, get easy opportunities. You can't start the half with the air ball three.
Blossom game has missed all 4 of his threes. He has really struggled from behind the line. And Murphy makes Clemson pay as the Canes go to a 4-point lead right out of the gate here in the second half.
And Brad Brownell says that's okay on that shot. They're going to give that up. And Blossom game having a rough start to this second 20 minutes. An air ball 3 in there. Sets a hard screen and whistle for a foul.
Yep. So a foul on Blossom game, his first. Turnover to Miami. Boy, a third of the conference games have been 5 or less or overtime. Clemson's had 6 of them in the loss column. So the Tigers know all too well how fragile possessions can be. And there's Reed on the drive.
Thomas has to stay connected to the ball handler until his teammate can get back in front of him. You can't leave a guy out to dry with Davon Reed attacking downhill, trying to get his footprints in the paint.
Grantham the miss, gets his own rebound, back from Blossom game 3. He's hitless from behind the line. The last 2 have not been close. And Davon Reed a moment ago.
When you talk about what Miami wants to do in the second half, they're going to continue to use these ball screens till you show you can stop it. And you see that clip there. Thomas essentially sets a double screen.
Yeah.
He lets the guy go, and he really screens his own teammate, creating that avenue for Reed to finish inside.
Anthony Lawrence commits the foul for Miami on the spot throwing off the baseline. His first and number 1 on Miami. Now, Brad Brownell's team is 14-11. They're 4-5 on the road. They've got a couple of ACC road wins this year. And their non-conference chemistry is pretty good, Jason.
Yes.
They're right there kind of on that line, despite the fact they've lost 9 of their last 12. It shows you just how rugged the league can be. And Clemson now in these final 2 weeks, they've got a legitimate chance, but you can't let possession slip, and there's Mitchell on the drive in the bucket.
And that's what you have to do if you're Clemson. You made some threes in the first half, but the right guys took them. You're a driving team, a team that gets the ball in the paint with creative finishers. None more than Shelton Mitchell with that floater.
Here's Brown for Murphy. By the way, they marked the foul for Davon Reed, not Anthony Lawrence, as we said a moment ago. And here is Davon Reed. Mitchell got a little help from Thomas. Slashing again. Feeds Brown, who missed the chippy. But he got his own rebound and scored.
And after this game, Davon Reed is going to have a conversation with the freshman Bruce Brown. He blew his assist right there. Got to go up and finish that first one.
There's a great pass. Mitchell to Thomas. And Miami comes away with the miss there.
A lot of contact inside. A breakdown defensively. Thomas rolled free to the hoop. That's the respect of Avery Holmes on that same side, replacing up. 2 guys went with him. Dear Thomas, you must finish that 2 in the paint.
Lawrence rebounded by Murphy. Miami gets a second chance here. Clemson went the entire first half with just 1 offensive rebound. Miami had 4. There weren't many to be had for either school. Almost 3 minutes gone. Lawrence launches. And Blossom game the rebound. Larinaga not happy with the shot selection by Miami.
Well, he's yelling drive. With the new directives, you must put the onus on the officials to make the call and make it consistently. Drive the ball to the basket, put the defense in rotation, then be a basketball player. Simply make the right play.
Both teams misfiring at the offensive end long before they shoot the ball. And here's Miami off the Clemson giveaway with Brown feeding Azundu, who draws the foul.
And partner, once again, watch it right there. Thomas is setting a double screen on Avery Holmes. He's not allowing his teammate to get back to the basketball. And he rolling back to the basket with his man after the screen is essentially setting that double screen.
Bill Covington Jr. going to talk with Tony Chiazza and Jeff Clark here. And I want to see if they're going to put 11 on the shot clock. It was a jump ball call, not a foul on Thomas. So 11 to shoot for Miami. Leading by 6, largest lead of this game. And now Murphy, a little scoop and score, gives him 11 on his 5th field goal.
Well, a great screen set frees Amari Murphy. And not many players more athletic. And as he goes to the bench, as the Hurricane faithful rise to their feet, he's showing you the trickeration with that right hand. Out of bounds under, the nice speed, up, under, the spin, the kiss, the 2.
Miami by 8. You always tell me, Coach, it's about details, right?
It's about details, and you must be connected defensively. This is a simple screen-to-screener. You're going to have Davon Reed set this diagonal screen, and Kamari Murphy's going to roll to the basket. And just a simple 1-2 play. Finish it with Reed going to the hoop. You must have better ball pressure protecting the rim if you're Avery Holmes. And that's just too easy. That's just a simple pass and catch and an easy hoop inside. This Clemson Tigers team, we talked about how much improved they are offensively. They must do the job on the defensive end to get a win here on the road.
It's been their biggest inconsistency of this season. Here's DeVoe, little teardrop. And Thomas inside draws the foul on the offensive rebound, and it will be tagged to Abuka Azundu. It'll be his second and number 2 on the Hurricanes, and put Elijah Thomas at the line. By the way, a doubleheader of ACC women's basketball for you tomorrow on your regional sports networks. The day begins at 1 o'clock. We got a chance to visit with Katie Meyer, the head coach of the Miami women. They'll be at Duke to beat Joanne P. McCallie's Blue Devils. And then at 3 o'clock, the Commonwealth Clash on the ladies' card. Virginia and Virginia Tech. Kenny Brooks has done a great job coaching Virginia Tech this year. Thomas missed them both.
We talk at length about how strong the ACC basketball is on the men's side. Well, how about the women's? And speaking to Coach, you're 15th in the country and you're sitting at 7th within your own conference. ACC basketball on both sides, men's and women's, so competitive this season.
And headed to the tournament down at Conway here in about 10 days or so on the ladies' side. And there's a reach in and locked out of bounds. Vasiljevic couldn't contain it. It'll go back to Clemson. Yeah, Coach Meyer was pretty quick to tell us, how are we supposed to feel? We're 15th in the country and 7th in our own league. Pretty strong on both sides of the coin back after this.
ACC College Basketball is sponsored by Toyota, Let's Go Places, and The Works Pegasus, your workspace. Any place, find it at your local Lowe's.
Well, beautiful day here in South Florida. Good ball game. Miami's built an 8-point lead, their largest, and a quick check of our Quicken Loans upcoming schedules, and you see the kick in the final turn of the schedule in the ACC. It's not easy for anybody. Miami's got Virginia on Monday night, then Duke here. Remember, they played the Blue Devils very well, went through a scoring drought in the second half, and then at Virginia Tech, and then you see at Virginia Tech for Brad Brownell's team, Florida State, and then NC State. They get 3 home games to finish the regular season to the Tigers. No night off this year, though, Kate.
None. You look at Boston College, what they've been able to do, especially on their home court. Georgia Tech sitting at 500 in the league. A missed shot, but Jerron Blossomgame right there for the timely tip-in, and he has to get going. He's a guy that, to start this second 20 minutes, shooting 3-point shots, A couple air balls. He must be the guy to lead this team on the road.
Vasiljevic on the floor with Murphy. Azundu to catch off the block. Reed and Lawrence are out here, and Ibuka went to work. Thomas had his hand straight up in the air and will draw the foul. And that'll be his first and number 2 on the Tigers, and put Ibuka Azundu, who is 1 of 2 at the line and scoreless after an 11-point first half, to the stripe. And while Ibuka works on the first of 2, how about today's Toyota trivia question? And the free throw is good. Azundu now with 12. Who's the only person to coach both Clemson and Miami? And the answer is Bill Foster, who brought basketball back to the beach in 1985, and of course he coached the Tigers from 75 to 84, and then later coached at Virginia Tech. One of the great coaching legacies in the South belongs to Bill Foster. Passed away a handful of years ago. Just a fine, fine gentleman, Jason. 1 of 2 for Azundu, 7-point game. Blossom game. On the drive and 1. Driving the basketball, Jason.
That's what your big-time players have to do, especially on the road. The kick out, he could have taken that shot, but that's not his game, not his strong suit this season. You put your head down, you drop your inside shoulder, you take the contact, and you be the best player on the team at a crucial moment. 5 in orange. Big Make has a chance for the three-point play.
Got 11. Free throw no good. 5 field goals. 1 of 3 line shooting is Blossom game.
Everything he's shooting is short. Three-point shots, free throws. Has to bend down, use his legs. Get that ball to the rim.
Look away by Reed from Murphy. Now here's Brown with 10 to shoot. Working against Mitchell. Travel. Got in a hurry to Bruce Brown. Miami turns it back over. 5-point lead for Coach Larenega's squad.
Well, he was made to play in traffic that time. When the Tigers stay connected in the ball screen, when the big keeps his eyes on the ball handler, moves his feet, and allows his teammate to get back in front, the Tigers are containing the basketball, and that possession forced a turnover.
Almost 6 minutes gone, second half. Miami led by 2 at the break. They have outscored Clemson 9-6 to start the second half. DeVoe. And finally, another foul on Murphy, trying to fight with Blossom game. Kamari Murphy, second foul in as many trips to the defensive end of the floor. 4 now on Miami.
Well, Kamari Murphy fouled at least 3 times in this possession. There's a push in the back. Going to make contact again as he's moving. Holden. When you're guarding such a talented player, a lot of times that's the only thing you can do. Great defensive stand from the Hurricanes inside.
Reed barely got his hands wrapped around the basketball before he traveled with it. Brown lost it to Thomas, and then Brown commits the foul on the reach. And what it did, it's actually, I guess in some respects, a smart foul. Keeps Clemson out of transition.
And you have to give the credit to Elijah Thomas. Once again, there's the ball screen. He sits down, spreads out, shows his hands, gets that deflection. He has created 2 turnovers the last couple possessions simply by staying connected. And this is something the Clemson Tigers have to get better at in this contest and moving forward. But 2 consecutive stops, you must come down and put points on the board this possession.
DeVoe. Works through. Here's Reed. Straight down the pipe and got the roll. He is fearless. 9 for Marquise Reed.
There's something to be said about guys that understand how to move without the basketball. He catches it on the run, footprints in the paint, and the nice finger roll floater over the outstretched arms.
Clemson to within 3. Look at Thomas there. Active hands again. He went all the way to the floor, tried to make the save and call timeout, and couldn't. But it's an outstanding hustle play by the young man from Dallas.
3 consecutive possessions. You look at Elijah Thomas, active hands, and you love when big guys run the floor and dive. First to the floor, usually you're going to get that call. But now with 14 on the shot clock, the Hurricanes now must go 94 feet once again to try to put points on the board.
The beauty of it was he was 3/4 of the way out of bounds and still trying to call timeout.
A for effort. Love the hustle.
Absolutely. 7 to shoot. Here's Brown now. Mitchell there defensively, and Brown launches. Lawrence the rebound. Miami a second chance. And for the Clemson bench, really frustrated with that.
Brad Barnell throws that fist in the air. Your team is doing the job defensively. You must finish plays with rebounds.
Thomas the foul on DeJuan Huell. Second on Elijah Thomas, third on the Tigers. That'll send Huell to the stripe.
Well, Thomas does the job getting him up high. I'm not sure if that was a foul on second look. I thought maybe he had that off arm connected to his hip. He met him before Huell could get off the floor and hand on top of the basketball. Tough call there by the officials.
Young man from Norland High School here in the Miami area knocks the free throw down. Substitutions for the Tigers. Jete will get Thomas's spot. Can you imagine seeing 6'11" DeJuan Huell in the 800 meters?
I've seen him run in transition rim to rim and finish with the dunk. So, yes, I can imagine. Long strides, just a fluid athlete, a young player. Bright, bright future.
The high jump is a little easier to believe. The 800 meters that'd be fun to watch. He's pushed the lead back to 5 on a couple of free throws. He's got 4 in the game. And here's Blossom Game working on Anthony Lawrence. Lawrence wanted the foul, didn't get it. Instead, Blossom Game takes 2 canes to the rack, and he'll draw Huell's foul. And Jim Larinaga not happy on the second against his talented freshman, number 6 on his team.
Well, I think it was a good no call. Lawrence did a nice job making him catch the ball off the block. But it's grown man business inside. You have to stand up and take that contact. You can't flop. Not at this time of year, not at this juncture of this basketball game against an all-league player. The Blossom Game is having his struggle shooting the basketball. He's done the job scoring inside, finishing plays through contact. But from the three-point line, from the free throw line, everything he's leaving short.
That one's good, and it had a little more arc on it than maybe the previous ones did.
Well, you must use your legs. You can't just shoot with all arms.
I noticed it on the jump shots too, though, Jason.
Absolutely. You must drop your waist. Your strength is going to come through your feet, powering through your legs, up into your arms. As strong as a guy is, if he's shooting with all arms during the course of a game in contact, you're going to be fatigued. You must use your legs.
Almost 8 minutes gone, second half. Good ball game here with the Tigers and Canes. Miami's won 4 of the last 6. Clemson's won 2 of the last 3 in the series. And a whistling foul. Bill Covington Jr. has tagged Reed with his first. Sophomore transfer from Robert Morris out of Landover, Maryland. And now they get Lawrence a spot throw in over near our courtside spot. Miami comes in averaging 70 points in conference play. That's 12th. Giving up less than 70. That's a 4th best scoring defense in league play. Clemson scoring 73 and allowing 78. Huell scoop and score. Nice take by the big fella.
He may not have gone 800 meters, but he got in one dribble from three-point line to the hoop for a finish. And on the other end, Marquise Reed using the ball screen, attacking downhill. You draw that second defender, and for a guy who's labeled as a scorer, a nice find and finish there.
Vasiljevic. Holmes. Reed. Look at Blossom Game with Davon Reed on it. Scores. Now the scary thing, you know this, Jason, about Blossom Game, one can lead to about 5 of them.
And he's seen it go through the basket. He made that last free throw. But you must understand where your bread is buttered for Blossom Game is in the paint. 2 feet there, the nice fadeaway. Nice arc on the shot as well.
Tigers to within 2 now. Davon Reed going to work. 10 to shoot. Huell tried to slip the screen. Reed a deep three. Hello. 10 for Davon Reed. Second triple of the day.
Good defense, but sometimes you must shake the offensive players' hands and say congratulations. The Hurricane fans step to their feet. But a foul on the ball handler. Yep, Bruce Brown. And Davon Reed against a short shot clock. 6-7 raises up. Cash for three.
ACC College Basketball is sponsored by Hardee's, the official biscuit of today's presentation of ACC basketball.
Well, beautiful day in South Florida. Good game inside. 5-point lead for Miami, 51-46. Okay, this time of year, there's some interesting allies, if you will. You see the RPI and the strength of schedule for Clemson, and their non-conference chemistry works, and they've got a nice win over South Carolina, too. And then here is where Miami is, and Miami's might look a little better than the Tigers, although strength of schedule's not as good.
Well, you look at what Miami's done in conference. Those three teams, you look at North Carolina definitely in the tournament. Virginia Tech right there needs to finish strong. Georgia Tech, the surprise in the league at 6-7. But you have games remaining. You have opportunities to step up and show what you're capable of. And you don't want to leave it to chance. You take control of the things in front of you that you can't control. And both teams still have an opportunity to make it to the big dance.
Marquise Reed is a 90% free throw shooter in ACC plays, 4th best in the conference, and he missed the front end of a 1-and-1 out of the timeout. Huell traveled. That'll turn it back over to the Tigers. Pretty good post defense by the senior from Senegal, Sidi Jete. And here's a Zundu back in the ball game for Miami, and he'll replace DeJuan Huell.
When the Tigers have made the Hurricanes play in a crowd, their defense has been stout. Make them play. Make them see an extra uniform.
Take away by Lawrence. Holmes to beat and one. Second field goal for Lawrence. First foul on Avery Holmes.
You can't float passes. You're Avery Holmes. You must recognize where the defender is, and you can't compound a mistake. You threw the ball away, then you go down. A guy bearing on you. If you're going to foul him, West, you got to wrap him up, foul him, make it a legal play. But you can't just smack at a guy. Anthony Lawrence, big, strong. Give him the opportunity to finish on the break, but both teams missing key free throws. Something as fundamental as stepping to the line with confidence could come into play down the stretch.
Reed at the foul line. Marquise Reed now has got 11 on his 5th field goal. 5-point game. Interesting dynamic with these two here today. Right there in that middle ground is Miami in the ACC slate. Reed a deep three off the catch. Under 9 to play. Blossom game. Contact. Rebound, Jete. Stick back good.
Blossom game is going to want an assist for that, but give Sidi Jete a lot of credit. He recognized where the shot was going, knew it was going to be an air ball, and positioned himself to get that rebound and finish in the paint.
Azundu against Jete. Clemson limiting the Canes to 1 and done. Marquise Reed thought about the three. DeVoe got it off the Reed deflection. Davon Reed deflection. Skip across. Reed to tie. And DeVoe the offensive rebound. 8 minutes to play here in Coral Gables. 3-point game. Jete in a double team. Reed scoops, scores.
We call guys like that, we say that's a bucket. When he walks in the gym, he is a bucket. Can score in so many ways. And he's at his best against a short shot clock where you understand he has one option, and that's to go put the ball in the hole.
7.5 to play. Miami by a point. Lawrence. 8 for Anthony Lawrence. Second triple.
Timely shot there. Defended pretty well. But Lawrence steps up on the wing. Hands and feet ready. Knocks down that big three.
Mitchell fouled, I believe. Murphy or Reed. It's on Davon Reed. It'll be his second. But Marquise Reed is keeping the Tigers within reach in a variety of ways.
ACC College Basketball is sponsored by Husqvarna. Performance, design, heritage. That's Husqvarna. Today's the day you save. Every day is Husqvarna Day. Visit Husqvarna.com for product details.
Wasco Center in Coral Gables with Jason Capel, Wes Durham, Jay Hoover, our producer, Billy McCoy, our director, and Marquise Reed is giving us some stuff to look at here today, Cape.
Starts the game off, can I have this dance? The attack and finish. Then warms it up from 3. And against a short shot clock, the step through. So creative, such an excellent score. A guy giving you about 10 points a game off the bench. But 11 today and timely baskets when the Tigers have needed a boost. He's come in and made plays. And the biggest difference in this second half has been the defensive connection of the front line of the Clemson Tigers here down the stretch.
Free throw by Mitchell, good. Clemson at the free throw line today is now just 4 of 10, by the way. And the Tigers came in under 68% against the league, 71-6 during the regular season. Mitchell had 15 and was 9 of 10 against Wake Forest in their win Tuesday night at Little John Coliseum. 2-point game, he got them both. Tigers have seen the bad end of the 5 points or less or overtime during league play. They're 1-6 in that category. They're to within 2. Vasiljevic with 8 to shoot. On the drive. Runner, good. That's his third 2-point field goal against the ACC.
And you forced him to do something he does not want to do. Not bad defense, but he's a Division I college player in the ACC. If he gets an opportunity to score in the paint, he's more than capable of finishing.
6 minutes and change to go. DeVoe tried to bounce it to Thomas and threw it away. Turnover number 6 on the Tigers. Murphy against Blossom Game. Davon Reed. And Murphy the offensive rebound. Vasiljevic. Clemson dodged one there, Jason.
Anytime there's an offensive rebound, a great opportunity to knock in a 3-point shot.
Wow, Mitchell.
The early attack. Sheldon Mitchell, a lefty, but there the crossover gets down the avenue. A quick lay inside, and the Tigers not going away. They continue to compete, continue to make timely hoops.
2-point game. Murphy thought about it, put it on the deck against Thomas and scored. 13 for Kamari Murphy, who goes down. I think he slipped on a spot coming off the baseline. Yep. Clemson with a man advantage. DeVoe rimmed out the triple. Here's Vasiljevic. 1-on-2. Thought Miami was going to steal one against the odds there.
Well, nice job pulling it out. It's all about time and score here.
Under 5. Reed from Murphy, this time right baseline.
The scouting report is changing on the fly for Kamari Murphy. The third jump shot he's made. And showing if you close out, he can go off the bounce the previous possession. Having an excellent game, and the Hurricanes standing up defensively.
6-point lead. Reed. Here's DeVoe. to shoot. Thomas burrows his way in and scores. 9 for Elijah Thomas, his first points of the second half.
And Azumda has to do a better job of not allowing that angle. He jumped to the high side and allowed Thomas the ability to go straight down the lane in a creative finish inside by the big man.
Lawrence, Murphy, who slipped the screen, couldn't score on a reverse. 4-point game. Mitchell. Blossom game, had it poked away and lost it. Vasiljevic with Lawrence. Back to 6 goes the Miami lead. Thomas and a foul on Azundu. 3rd on Azundu, 9th on Miami. Anthony Lawrence, a big 3, and a moment ago finishes a transition chance. Canes by 6. Six-point lead for Miami. Final 3 minutes and change here in Coral Gables. And Jason, Miami's gotten contributions from maybe 2 guys you don't normally expect, including their big senior Kamari Murphy.
Well, especially on the offensive end, when you think of Kamari Murphy, you think of how stout he is defensively, knocking down big shots. And because of that, the hot closeout, he's able to attack a tough finish. And you've seen his confidence continue to grow. And he shows you, my hand is hot. And you couple the fact that he's scoring the basketball with having maybe the toughest assignment on the court, defending Deron Blossom game. So he's doing the job on both ends and really giving the Hurricanes a big boost in this contest.
Elijah Thomas, 1 of 3 at the line, and the front end of the 1-and-1 is good, so he'll get the bonus. 3.5, 10 in the game for Thomas, who had 8 points the other night in 15 minutes before fouling out against Wake Forest. Second one, no good. Murphy the rebound.
Clemson Tigers leading a lot of points on the board at the foul line, on the road, coming from behind. That clock is stopped. You have to be able to convert.
4 of 10 in the half, 6 of 13 in the game at the strike. To shoot. DeJuan Buell and a block on Blossom game. His second, 6 on Clemson. If you're Jim Larinaga, you're in an interesting spot here. You got to work the clock a little bit, but also make sure you get the efficient shot.
Well, you can't be stagnant. They've gotten to a nice flow on the offensive end, a big reason because of their defense. But they're going to stay in their ball screen alignment. They're going to play their game. Guys sharing the basketball, and got a foul call there and reset that shot clock.
And Lawrence throws a nice pass down the seam.
It's right on the money. Out route.
Threw it against the cover, too. Man was wide open. Goodness. Reed. There's Lawrence fighting baseline. And the rebound for Thomas. 2.5 to go in the ball game. Miami up 5. Mitchell. Here's Reed trying to find a route against Brown. Shelton Mitchell had the crossover. Marquise Reed with 10 to shoot. Pushed it up there. And Thomas had a shot at it. They scrambled for the loose ball. And Bill Covington Jr. says hell ball. And with 4 to shoot, it'll go to Clemson. Marquise Reed. Like he took one right around the bridge of the nose, and then the battle ensued for the rock. So a 30-second timeout is taken. Elijah Thomas is hobbling. Marquise Reed looks okay. Well, Clemson, they split their last 6 games. They beat Wake Forest the other night in part because they hit 10 threes, Jason. They've got only 3 today. in the ball game, and they missed all 5 here in the second half.
Well, you look at the win against the Demon Deacons. The Tigers shot 35 free throws. They made 27.
Yeah.
And it's been flipped on its lid in this game. They just haven't converted. Attempts at the charity strike here in this second half, coming from behind on the road. You must take advantage of those opportunities at the foul line.
Well, they've compensated for their deficit in the rebound margin game. They're +2 on the rebounds today against Miami. 31-29, but they've given back those points. Bill Covington Jr. says we're going to get a reset of the shot clock, full set of the shot clock. So back to 30. Clemson will take that for sure. But they can't wait around and burn the 30 out either. Reed on the attack quickly. Now resets, drives, block on Murphy, and a couple of free throws coming. Kamari Murphy, his 3rd. That is 10 now on Miami.
Marquise Reed so shifty with his ball handling. Moves you around until he's able to drop that shoulder and attack downhill, putting so much pressure on this Hurricanes defense. And once again, an opportunity with the clock stopped, down 5, to cut into this lead.
Reed makes the free throw. Remember, he missed the front of a 1-and-1 earlier in the half. But he's 90% against the conference. 4th in the league. And I'm going to go ahead and go on record for next year. This guy's going to be trouble.
Oh,
he's trouble right now. Could be real trouble next year.
Well, you look at what he did at Robert Morris, Rookie of the Year there. Loved playing against the ACC. Had a couple 20-point games. Finds himself in Clemson, South Carolina, and continues to put points on the board.
Yeah, he had no problem reenacting some of his conquering at Cameron Indoor last week. I mean, he was a guy that was, well, he's fearless. Oh. And that's what Brad Brownell needs in terms of perimeter scoring. And the Tigers now down 3 with 2 minutes to go. Well, Miami would just soon continue doing what they're doing. Does Clemson have to change the dynamic of this game, Jason, at the defensive end?
Well, Clemson needs to understand that they're going to face multiple ball screens each possession. And they've shown they can do the job of handling the ball screens when all 5 guys are connected with one another at the point of attack, the help rotation, and then containing the ball outside of the lane. And now with 2 minutes to go, there's no more my fault. It's get the job done on the defensive end, and if you're Miami, precise execution, ensuring you get a good look at the hoop every possession.
3-point lead for the Canes and the basketball. Possession now belongs to Miami, and you see the rest of the details on our game reset at the bottom. Next foul by the Tigers puts Miami in the bonus. Clemson's already shooting 2 shots on every common foul against the Canes. Under 2 to go in the 3-point contest. Brown with Marquise Reed defending him. 10 to shoot. There's a double team on Reed. Out front, Bruce Brown's 3. Big shot for Brown. 6-point game with 1:22 to go.
You can draw it up nice and neat. End of the day, players make plays.
Blossom game on a second effort.
And that's a perfect example. These aren't drawn up plays you're seeing on both sides. Both coaches giving their players the freedom to make the correct play, and we're seeing great individual talent of making plays on the offensive end.
Little 1-3-1 here in the half court. Here's Brown again. 10 to shoot. Reed a launch. And scooped up on the second chance. Davon Reed. And a foul on Blossom game will be his 3rd, and that's 7 on Clemson with 40.5 seconds left. How about our Red Lobster turning point of the game today, Jason?
Once again, the ball screen goes away. 2 guys go with 1. And Davon Reed, the nice find top of the key. And the freshman, we talked about his poise. We talked about his ability to step up and make plays. Big-time three-point shot.
Free throw by Reed is good. He's got 11 now in the ball game.
And that last possession, if you're Dante Grantham, you must come up with that rebound. Your team did the job defensively. Shot goes up. Your job is to crash downhill, put a body on an offensive player, and come away with that 50-50 play. When you don't, now you're in a situation where you must foul. And senior Davon Reed steps up and knocks down a pair.
DeVoe off the mark. Rebound Hewell. And a foul on Blossom Game, his fourth, all in the half. And DeJuan Hewell will get 1 and 1 at the other end. 6-point game, though, with 30 seconds left. And if Hewell's able to knock the free throws, these are possession-changing free throws in the ball game. Big fellow's 2 of 2 earlier at the line in this half. And here is Mitchell into the ball game, and he'll replace Grantham. Clemson now has, with the exception of Thomas, and he's attempted 1. Clemson has 4 3-point shooters on the floor. Hewell missed the front end of the 1-on-1. Life in the Tigers yet, but they need hoops. Marquise Reed through traffic. Elijah Thomas inside, got it blocked. Got it back a third time, up strong, and it falls in, and a timeout, Brad Brownell. Took 3 cracks for Thomas to get his 5th field goal. It's a 4-point game with 16 seconds left.
Well, great effort by the Clemson Tigers. Marquise Reed unable to finish the first, but continue to fight. Elijah Thomas must go up strong, gets it blocked, stays with it. But, partner, while this is happening, time continues to run off that clock, and that's something the Tigers cannot make up for. And now you're in a situation, 15 to go, down 4. You got to deny the ball, try to get a quick steal. Then it's about extending this game, putting the Hurricanes on the line, and see if they can make free throws down the stretch.
Jason, I know he's on the doorstep below the rim, but do you want Thomas to take one of those offensive rebounds and fire it back out on the perimeter? Because you're still down 4.
Well, so many guys were stuck inside. I don't think he had an opportunity to see anybody in there. What you want is the first rebound he got instead of falling away. Power that ball to the hoop, either get a finish or get a foul. Now that clock can stop, and you can set your defense, or you can step to the line and put points on the board.
And now all of a sudden, Clemson's got to battle the clock along with Miami. And Vasiljevic is going to be on the floor. Brown, Lawrence, Murphy, and Davon Reed. And to be honest with you, Kamari Murphy's the worst free throw shooter of the group.
And he's the guy that's had the hot hand here in the second half.
He's hit his only free throw today. Clemson out of timeouts. Lawrence into Reed, and there's the quick foul. Either Marquise Reed or Dante Grantham. And it's on Marquise Reed. It'll be his second. That's 9. So that will put Davon Reed, the senior from Ewing, New Jersey, to line. He's got a dozen today. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Another full category game for Davon Reed.
And what you love is his leadership.
Oh, yeah.
Your starting point guard goes out. And what you've seen from Davon Reed from the onset, he's been the most vocal player on this team. He's made the plays, not only for himself, but put guys in the right position. The point of attack, he's done the job defensively. Excellent leadership throughout this contest.
Free throw good for Reed. There are a handful of guys in this league who are seniors that are the alpha dog, if you will.
Yes.
Emil Jefferson, certainly at Duke, and Davon Reed fits that bill here.
Well, Davon Reed is a man. He's a guy that carries himself the right way, does all the little things to help you step into the winner's circle.
Spot up 3, knocked out, right back to Reed to his feet. And Lawrence the rebound. The seconds will tick off, and Miami gets the win. 71-65 will be the final today in Coral Gables. Jim Laranaga's team goes to 8-6 in the ACC. They've won 4 of their last 5, 6 of their last 8. Brad Brownell's team falls to 4-10 in the league, 14-12 overall. In a high-tempo game, Jason, that may be just an earmark of what we're going to see in the last 2 weeks of the league.
Absolutely. So much great basketball left to be played. Everyone jockeying for position. But make no mistake, a nice home win for the Miami Hurricanes, getting key contributions from many different people. And 2-0 now without their starting point guard. That bodes well for the Hurricanes moving forward.
Miami puts 4 players in double figures and shoots 50% from the floor in beating Clemson by 6. Final words from Coral Gables in a moment. Today at Coral Gables, Miami shoots 50% even from the floor. They are 6 of 19 from 3, which is right around their average. Clemson, after hitting 10 threes the other night and beating Wake Forest, only 3 threes today from the Tigers. And great to be with Jason Capel. West Durham, thanks for being part of our ACC College Hoops Saturday. Well, Miami wins a details game, and so many of these games going down the stretch are going to be about details, I think.
Well, it has been all season, and nothing's going to change down the stretch. So many teams evenly matched, and what you like about Miami, they shared the basketball, helped one another, and they got key stops from the defensive end when they needed to in this game.
One more game in Jaquan Newton's suspension, Jason, but have they found something with Bruce Brown as the lead guy here?
I think so, and it's not just Bruce Brown. He did the job taking care of the basketball. Very few turnovers in this game for the Hurricanes, but you can't say enough about the leadership, the upperclassmen.
Yep.
Davon Reed making plays on both sides, getting other guys shots, and Kamari Murphy. This guy had the toughest responsibility of the evening, defending Jerron Blossomgame, which he did a nice job doing, but then scoring key baskets and being a guy that gave him points in the paint as well.
Well, going to be interesting to see now. Miami's got a tough road to hoe here in the next week or so, as does Clemson. They'll go to Virginia Tech as well. They got Florida State before the season finishes. 3 home games for Brad Brownell's Tigers as well. Great to be with my man Jason Capel on ACC College Hoops Saturday. A win here for Miami. 71-65 is the final here tonight. Thanks to our producer Jay Hoover, our director Billy McCoy. This is West Durham reminding you our final, Miami 71 and Clemson 65. Don't forget tomorrow there's an ACC women's basketball double dip. Miami visits Duke at 1 o'clock, followed by Virginia and Virginia Tech at 3. From the Watsco Center in Coral Gables on a winning Saturday for Miami, who now is 8-6 in the ACC with a 6-point win over Clemson. So long from South Florida.